everybody. This is the Firefox SUMO day for Firefox 61. We are in our second day of SUMO day and third day of release. We are really excited about Firefox 61. There are a couple of new features. It's kind of a light release, but we're still having some really exciting questions in the forum, some exciting questions in social support. So if you're joining me here live, you are probably part of this community, or you're curious to find out what the heck SUMO is. So let me give you a recap. So SUMO is short for Mozilla support. Mozilla support is scaled by forums and one-to-one support in forums, Twitter support, and local communities that run their own one-to-one support channels, which we do partner with but are not affiliated with. So if you have any questions for the official support channel, it's going to be in English. Sorry for that limitation. We do actually have over 70 languages in the KB, which has all of the technical documentation that you'll need to troubleshoot your official Mozilla product. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can get involved and actually troubleshoot a couple of questions with our one-to-one support team. So what I'm going to first show you right now, I'm sharing my screen. It's the buffer reply tool. So this is a tool that we use to answer questions from the @Firefox account. But we'll get to that in a minute. What I really want to show you first is where you want to get started as a support volunteer. So if you actually go to our support forum, this is the forum, this is the front page. You're going to want to sign up as a contributor. So if you go here and you ask a question, there's two links, Volunteer for Mozilla down here. I've already logged in, so the quick start guide is going to take me to the same place. But if you're signing up for the first time, or even if you want to just ask a question, you go ahead and you go to Save the World. So writing help articles is not what we do on SUMO Day, but we will get to that. If you're interested in getting started, please feel free to reach out. For now, we're going to do answer support questions. So you want to sign up as a volunteer. You'll get an email that confirms your sign up. Click on that and then you'll log back in. You'll go to support forum and you'll start answering questions. What you really want to do is read this first. So this is an article answering support forum questions. It's really helpful. It'll tell you to go in and look for knowledge base articles, finding questions that you can answer. If you don't know the answer to that question, you can go in and take your time. You may find other people have posted to the question, but that doesn't mean you're not adding to helping out with that person. If you do notice that people are answering questions before you get a chance to answer, just read them and learn how to support that particular type of question. In the meantime, though, while you do find a question, you're going to want to research for the answer and try it out on your own Firefox. So this is the doing investigation part. So first you want to find a question. Usually you want to start with threads that have no replies. There is going to be a page. So I'm going to open this up to show you what it looks like. So support forum home. So first, choose a product. Say you have an Android device and your mobile, or you have your iOS device. Really easy to get forum support over your phone. But for now, since I'm on a desktop, I'm going to go to the forums. So here we have the support forum. This is the queue of questions. We have right now, it shows I have 91 questions that have been asked in the last 24 hours. And there's about 18 questions that haven't been solved yet. So the first step is to go in and actually look for threads that have no replies, and that is going to be the ones that have this 0 to the left. The other way to look at it is click on this right here, which filters all new questions, which changes the filters on the right here, recently unanswered and not updated, and then posts from everyone. So what's great about this is that it'll also tell you what the version and the operating system. So if you have a particular operating system, you can filter by clicking on one of these tags and say, okay, I have a Mac. So this is how I chose my first question. I chose it by the operating system that I can test on and the version that I have installed. If you don't know which one is what version of Firefox that you have installed, you can actually go into Firefox and then click on About Firefox. if you have any questions about that, please feel free to ask. So this is our first question. I'm going to go in and I'm going to click on it. So we're finding answers now. So there's a couple of different places we can do research. We can research the already solved forum threads. We can look in Bugzilla to see if there's a bug that exists. And there are a couple other places that have some pretty active communities, including Reddit and Mozilla Zine. So Mozilla Zine is an active forum, but a lot of their content is actually out of date. So please do be careful. So this question, after reinstalling Firefox, when I click on a link in an email, it opens Safari on my Mac. How do I fix it? So it looks like after they reinstalled Firefox, their default browser changed to Safari. But the question, you want to make sure you read the whole question before answering. So I recently deleted and reinstalled Firefox due to a problem updating, and it seems to have worked. However, now when I click on a link in my email in my iMac, it opens in Safari. Any suggestions? So still the same. If you've reinstalled Firefox and the default browser may have changed, it sounds like the links within their email is opening in a different browser. So let's check their system details. It looks like they have an updated version of Flash and that their version is 10.1361. So they're all up to date with the current release of Firefox. You always want to check the system details just in case the people are actually posting from a different device or a different computer. That way in your answer, it's customized. Another feature I want to show you is down here. So these are common responses. If you're new and you're kind of wondering how to troubleshoot Firefox and you've gone through maybe the basic troubleshooting Firefox, which is another link which I can show you, basic Firefox tips for troubleshooting Firefox. So this article is actually a really great place to start if you're new to Firefox and you're experiencing problems. So these are the basics. You're going to restart your computer, clear your cookies, safe mode, reinstall, refreshing, and creating new profiles. So these are all of the general troubleshooting issues for those weird things that don't really work the way that you think that they're going to work. But this is our common response. So the common response tool actually has a lot of pre-written common responses that you can actually go in, click on, and auto-populate into your response. So for this particular one, we want to change the default browser. So I'm looking in general. I'm going to look through here. I don't see it, so I'm going to do default. So great, we have something: refresh Firefox, restore defaults, quantum homepage defaults, change search engine, and default browser in iOS. So it doesn't look like we have a default browser common response for iOS for desktop Mac. So what I'm going to do is actually look for an article. So this is another feature. So you can actually search for support articles and have them inserted into your response. So I'm going to do change default. And I don't know if you can see it in the stream, but there's an autocomplete, a list of articles. So the first one is change default in Android, in Clar, set Firefox Rocket. So set default on desktop. I'm going to add desktop there, see if search changes. Okay. Setting Firefox as your default browser doesn't work. What to do? Okay, so I'm not seeing the search here, so let me look for the article actually from here. Okay. Make Firefox your default browser. There you go. Okay, so we're going to copy the link to this article. We're going to put it in here. Okay. Insert link. Call it this. Firefox, your default browser. Okay, so a great response. So this is a really good place to insert some tips and tricks. So the great response is you want to make sure that the person gets a personal greeting. So, hey, Marigold, I understand. So you want to restate their problem first. I understand that that when you open a link in your email that your Mac computer opens. So I don't actually know if they have an iMac. They could have very old hardware and have the latest version of Mac. I wouldn't be surprised. Mac hardware is pretty amazing. When you open a link in the email, that your Mac computer opens it in Safari. So it's actually not the computer that's opening it, it's actually the operating system. It sounds like your default browser changed after reinstalling. To change this, so we've restated it. We've shown a little bit of human kindness. I understand what's going on. It sounds like this is what I think is what's going on. To change it back, please follow these instructions. Okay, you link to the article. If you have any other issues or questions, please post back and we can troubleshoot further. We look forward to your reply. So that's just a nice ending. We hope that you come back and it's all friendly, it's helpful, and it's this very simple question. So I'm going to go ahead and hit reply. So there you go. There is your first reply. If you need to edit a post because it looks kind of weird because the formatting worked, really easy to go in and go back and fix it, but the text in the email notification that they will get will have the original post. So please be sure to proofread. This is something I always have to remind myself. So we did some research, we did some investigation, and we posted some replies. We didn't do too much investigation because I've already answered a question like this, and I'm sorry, we'll do some more. I'll show you some more investigation places when we do some answering some questions. So following up, so after they get a notification, I will get a notification if they reply in my email inbox. So take a look out for email that says Mozilla support forums, and that can be an indicator of whether or not you got a response. If you need help, so you are not alone. So say for example, I needed help on this question. I would copy the link to the question here, and I'll show you a really amazing resource. So these are our contributor forums. The place that you're going to want to ask for help is down here, support forum contributors. So this is the place that you're going to go in, post a new thread and say, I need help with this question, or something less broad, maybe an indicator, default browser changed. Go here, I tried this, the user did not find it helpful. Is this a bug? So this is a kind of a beginner thread. I'm not actually going to post this because I don't need help with it. But if you do want to check to see if there is a bug, you can actually do this. So if you go to Bugzilla, you can search for default browser changes after update. So sometimes this will happen. So you might find that there are no answers to the bug. Another way to find search if it doesn't find it here is you can look for old bugs, because the default search in Bugzilla can be a little bit different. So I'm going to use Google. So one part you want to add is site bugzilla.mozilla.org. Default browser. So this will give you a list of questions. You have to go through and click each one and read to see if it's the same issue. But I would wait to try to add a bug to a thread until you know back and forth a couple of times with a user enough information for steps to reproduce things that they've already tried troubleshooting and that they have done at least these troubleshooting steps here. So for every bug, if you're going to file a new bug, you want to make sure that you have asked them to start it in safe mode, just in case they have any add-ons or change default configuration. You want to make sure that they've troubleshooted in reinstalling, so they've already reinstalled. That's the step that we're at, so we're just fixing to get it back to the place that they were. Refreshing and creating a new profile. So refreshing takes away, it puts everything back to defaults and then adds your bookmarks and other features back. Creating a new profile. So this is like going in and starting brand new to make sure that your profile isn't corrupted. There are other solutions and checking for malware, but we hope that most of our users don't run into that. Okay, so that's the support forum. So that's really exciting. The kind of questions that we'll get in the forums for 61, just to recap, there's a big issue at the moment that you can actually find and read about in the support forum. So you're going to go in here, community discussions. Every release we have a pinned link that goes to 61 or 61 Android, desktop or Android. So if you're seeing, after you do a couple of these, you might see a pattern. And if you see at least 3 threads that are having the same problem, you kind of go in here and you read some of the changes that were made from one version to another to see if there is something that is a little weird. Performance. So what Philip will do or other contributors will post every release is some things that have changed from release to release. Okay, there are other threads in here you want to take a look at. So this actually is one of the issues that has been going on for the last couple of days. There is a bug open for it. So this is where users will see SSL error RX record too long in their browser when they try to connect to different websites. So what we found out from collaboration with all of these people here is that it happens to be because we changed the default TLS to 1.3 and Avast is a common antivirus that conflicted with it. So there's 2 workarounds. You can change the TLS version, or you can actually now just update. Avast has already provided an update for this. So if you see users still running into this, ask them if they have Avast, 1, and 2, ask them to update their antivirus. Okay, great. So I'm going to go over to social since we got enough of the forums and we have about 10 minutes left here. So I'm going to go into, there's 2 places. So I have an environment here with TweetDeck that basically pulls in all of the tweets from @Firefox with a couple of different keywords. So right here are the mentions. So I use an account called @GwigsMozilla for responding to people who have tweeted to @Firefox and are having problems with their Firefox browser. So I first look at the ones that I have responded to and people have replied back to me. So it looks like these are community members and they have replied to me on other occasions, but this one about 20 hours ago, you might see this is an example where a user has been watching a live stream and their Firefox version doesn't support the video. So first I linked them to a article that has basic troubleshooting steps for video. And basically they've said it's not exactly their problem, but they're saying that the user plugins are not working and are not user friendly. So right now, if you go to a site that doesn't have a supported plugin, some sites will actually detect whether or not your browser has installed a NAPI plugin. And a couple of versions ago, Firefox actually posted NAPI as an outdated. So this is an example of where you can do some research, and a great place to do that research is on the blog. This is a great way to stay updated with Firefox updates. So I read in here to remind myself back in, I believe, Firefox 56 or 57, NAPI plugins were no longer supported. And those are Silverlight, that includes Unity and a couple other plugins that used to be default in the browser. I think one of them is the Cisco codec. Anyway, so this is a great place to look, Bugzilla blog. Other places to look are actually in solutions. I really like this search here because I can look at other people's solutions. So this one right here, this in TweetDeck is a search that has any keyword Firefox and particular places that I know that I can help. So keywords like help, crash, bookmarks, video, or cert. So there are going to be a lot of certs from the last 24 hours if you go back and take a look through these. You do have to do a little bit of filtering as you go through. So for example, this first one, I called your help desk. I was advised to try to start Firefox and Chrome IE. Even this doesn't work. Please check and rectify. So I'm actually curious to see if there's any messages from before this one. And it looks like the link is no longer active. So let me try one more time. Copy a link to the tweet and then open it up in a new URL. Okay, so it looks like this is actually not an issue with Firefox. This is a compatibility issue, so I'm not going to answer that one. So that's not something that we need to answer. That's something that they can actually go into WebCompat and talk to if that website doesn't help them out. Okay. This one looks like Firefox crashes. Does NOLA.com crash Firefox? So they're asking if the website crashes Firefox. It doesn't look like they're actually looking for help with Firefox crashing. Here's another one. Hi Firefox team, are you planning to add bookmarks and possibly authentication to sync to the Amazon Fire TV app? So Firefox Amazon TV is a relatively new product in Mozilla. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty simple. There's a couple of different features that you can go on and try. Basically, there's a link to the support forum. There's a link to the KB articles. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. And there's a search, and then there's a couple of places where you can watch videos. I haven't tried it too intimately myself, so I would recommend trying it. I do know, though, that there is no authentication for sync yet. If they are asking if they're planning, there's a roadmap that you can take a look at because it's all in GitHub. Everything is open source and transparent. That's what we love about Firefox and other places. Firefox TV, Amazon. If you're curious, I can actually send you a link to that later. But that is not something we're going to troubleshoot today because that is Firefox. So yeah, to go through a couple of tweets in TweetDeck to find something, it looks like we're pretty active. So here's the queue for another tool that we use. So these are all the replies that I've done in a different tool. So these are examples of the volunteers that have been vouched into the reply tool to respond directly from the Firefox account. So for example, some of these are actually common responses that we have all set up for you here. You don't need to have access to, so there's common responses, the article that you can take from and modify to 280 characters. And then there's the Army of Awesome common responses that used to be used in a tool when Twitter had 180 characters instead of 200. And so I have someone posting here saying, I want to watch out for new contributors. Oh yeah, so Siam is one of our common contributors. Sorry, Siam runs another tool that I will show you right after this, but we are really excited to have new contributors. So back to these common responses. So Army of Awesome is a tool that used to be used that was crowdsourced, that basically took the same thing that TweetDeck takes here, this search feed, and put it into an interface where you could click yes or no to respond, and then respond and authenticate with the Twitter API and your personal your personal Twitter account. When these are some of the, I can link to you an old Army of Awesome Get Involved YouTube video that's pretty fun. So we have about a minute or two here, but this is the resource that you want to go into. There is another tool that I need to add you to directly, so you need to reach out to me or Siam in our Telegram group. So this is where we export. You have instructions here on the left, how to participate in our social sprints. So every week we post tweets for you in particular languages where you can go in, check out the list, assign it to yourself, convert it to a card. It'll come out down here. You add your name, and then open it up to let people know that you are working on it. So let me open this up in a new link. So that's another way to find tweets where we've curated it for you. So this is an example of one of the top issues that we're having in the last 24 hours, the SSL error record, RX record too long. So someone has already gone in, and so Avast is already pointing people to, hey, it's not Firefox, it's Avast. Please make sure that you update your antivirus. So I know I'm going kind of quickly through this. It's a lot to take in, but what's the one thing you want to remember for this part of social is that all you need is a Trello account and a Twitter account, and you can come in here and collaborate with other people. As you see, the faces in here will get notified, and if you need help, you can actually create a card and put it in the needs help, and people are subscribed to the needs help yellow tag, so that will work out for you. So that's how you can get involved in social. We have TweetDeck, and there's an article that you can check out in the social support forum guidelines. Just go to my profile. If you go here to my profile, there is a link, Gwigs at, there you go. Right here, Mozilla Social Support, real quick link, mzl.la. Sign up in the form and I'll get an email that you have been interested in signing up. And if you have any questions, I can say, hey, welcome, and get involved. The reply tool that I started out with is also very nice. It's an inbox. So we have probably about 15 people who are in here on an active day. But right now, since it's in PST and we're right in the time zone change, there are not many people online. I will go wake them up and say hello to them after this stream, so you can all get started and ask questions on how to get started. For this one, you have to be a vouched Mozillian, so go to mozillians.org, create a profile, and find an admin or find another person to participate to say, hey, can you vouch for me? And then start getting, and after about 2 weeks of replying consistently to tweets, and you've introduced yourself to at least 3 people, then you can say, hey, can you please nominate me for the buffer reply tool? I'm really interested in getting involved there as an official support volunteer. And what's great about that is that you're a trusted Mozillian, you've been vouched, and you are a little bit more knowledgeable than when you started 2 weeks ago in answering Firefox questions. Do keep in mind, though, this is a professional environment. We want to be direct, but we don't want to be impolite. So we want to be polite, we want to be helpful, and if you have any questions at all, our community is able to help you. So come join us. I will be online. I think that's the end of our stream, but we will be online in Telegram. I will share the Telegram link. Just like I said, go to my profile. The link is in there. You can add yourself. There's also an IRC live chat channel, irc.mozilla.org. If you need help setting up an IRC, this is the link you're going to want to go to. IRC Mozilla Wiki. Oops, that is Wiki.mozilla.org, search for IRC, pick a client, add your name, and go to the #SUMO channel. That's #SUMO. Just say hello, username ping, and we'll get a notification to come in and say hi. So that's it. Our live stream is come to an end. I'm going to take a quick look in IRC to see if there anyone who joined us. If not, I will be sharing this stream live in all social channels so you can watch it later. Again, any questions, just say hi. It's fun to hang out online and answer open source questions. You get to meet a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds. There are also leadership role opportunities within the community, and it also is a great place to work on your technical troubleshooting skills. So I hope that this sounds like fun to you, and I hope to see you online. Okay, bye guys.